this boy.
Are sending star wide receiver Stefon Diggs to the Houston Texans. In return, the Bills reportedly will receive a second-round pick in 2025.
And now he's going to Houston. Wherever he goes, the quarterbacks look better. And C.J. Stroud was looking big time without him.
They right there now, right underneath that Kansas City Chief team. They right underneath that. They jump in front of Baltimore for me.
Do they?
Yes, they do. Think about it, man.
In front of Baltimore. Keyshawn, you know ball.
Well, Keyshawn, I have been thinking about it, and I've been thinking.
Voice, man. Some just can't talk. 34 seconds in, I don't like the video. Can we leave? Listen to his voice. Listen to his voice, bro. Come on, y'all. Can we leave, bro? No.
A lot about the Houston Texans over the past few months, and while I am ecstatic for the 2023 season they had and for the future of guys like CJ Stroud, Will Anderson, and Tank Dell, the hype train for the Texans needs to slow down. Now, if you think this is a video that's going to be about how the Texans are destined to fail and that they were a one-year wonder, then this is not the video for you. The Texans had a lot of success in 2023, and they're looking to build on it in 2024. But it's never as easy as you think, and the path to success and championships in the NFL or any professional
You said skip. Turn it off.
sport is not linear. Teams typically do not go from 2 wins to 10 to Super Bowl to dynasty. There are ups and downs in every sport and for every franchise, and in today's video, we are going to break down why the Texans hype train needs to slow down. One of the biggest reasons has nothing to do with anybody in particular on the Texans, as much as it is with how sports media is and why there is a vast contrast between what the media projects and reality. Now let's dive in. One of the biggest reasons why the Houston Texans hype train needs to slow down entering the 24 season is whenever there's a team that has an insane draft class, like the Texans did in 2023, or has a crop of young talent like the Texans do, which isn't just limited to their 2023 class either, as they have other good players like Derek Stingley Jr. and Nico Collins. The initial thing to do is project the absolute best moving forward for not just one or two guys, but the entire.
Watch y'all finish under 500. That's not happening. Listen, if the Texans finish this season under 500, I will give 200 subs. Clip it, entitle it 200. They're not finishing under 500. That's just, our division is too ass for it to happen. Real. Now, the Texans are not going to be the best team in the NFL this year. It's not happening. I'm realistic. But under 500, come on, bro. It's not happening, bro.
Higher roster. When you factor in the Chiefs becoming a dynasty and another team like the Bengals having an injury-filled year, and the Ravens losing several coaches and players in free agency after they went to the AFC Championship game, along with Buffalo's financial bill effectively coming due after going in for several years, you get this perfect storm of everyone hopping on the Texans bandwagon, at least from a media perspective, and everyone is quick to think they are the next team up. But as cliche and as simple as this sounds, this next point needs to be hammered home, and it's that winning a single Super Bowl is insanely difficult. The Bengals were supposed to be the next team up after beating the Chiefs in the postseason back in 2021, and in the 2 years since, they lost in the AFC Championship game to Kansas City and missed the playoffs this past year due in large part to injury. We are now entering year 5 with Joe Burrow, year 7 with Lamar Jackson, and
I'm tired of hearing this Joe Burrow. Listen, I like Joe Burrow, but I'm tired of hearing this yo. The hurt last year. We watching the playoffs. I just keep saying, remember when Joe did this in the snow? So I don't care. He's not playing. Get this out of here. Yo, y'all remember Joe Burrow did this saucy play behind the back? Shut the fuck up.
Year 7 with Josh Allen and have a combined 2 MVPs and 1 Super Bowl appearance between the 3 players. Obviously, football is a team game, and it's not fair to blame the entirety of each of their seasons on them, but the point of getting to a Super Bowl when you have a team that's in the middle of a dynasty is incredibly difficult. And one thing that I think is conveniently forgotten by the media, or at least it's not pointed out that I've seen, is the Texans, for as fun as they were in 2023.
No chill, Will. You keep putting 34-10. I guess that's the highlight of your season when your team was supposed to be the Super Bowl contender. 34-10. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if I would hold on to 34-10 if my team was supposed to be in the Super Bowl, and I'm just so excited that I beat a team that won 2 games last year, the year before. Pretty disappointing, honestly, but at the same time, I think you're trying to do that to try to hurt me. But at the same time, man, I think you look a little nuts. But 34-10. 34-10. Am I right?
Like during the Bucs game in which CJ Stroud threw for 470 yards and 5 touchdowns, or the immediate ensuing week against the Bengals when they went into the jungle and won, due in some part to Stroud's 350-plus yard performance in a 30-27 victory. Well, the Texans were absolutely embarrassed by the Ravens in the divisional round of the playoffs with a score of 34-10. For anyone who may not remember the lone Texans touchdown in this game, it was on a 67-yard punt return touchdown by Steven Sims. That's it. They also didn't enter the red zone during this game despite having 9 possessions. 10 technically if you include a kneel down before halftime, but I wasn't going to include that, but for any technically guys out there, I will say 9 possessions for the Texans. Anyways, the Ravens defense was one of the best, not just in 2023, but over the past few years, and you can very easily make the argument that the Texans even being in that game, in the divisional round of the playoffs, was a huge win for them in itself.
You can't make the argument. It's literally a fact. The Texans' last season was a success, period. Like, no matter, after we beat the Browns, anything else we was playing with house money. Like,
and it was. And the Texans players, front office, and
matter of fact, after we made the playoffs, we was playing with house money.
Fan base should be absolutely thrilled with what they accomplished in 2023. I don't want that to be lost in today's video, but when you break down the Texans' final 8 games of the season, meaning after the win in Cincinnati, how many games did they win that they shouldn't have? I understand you can't control who you play and you have to win the games on the schedule, but the most impressive win in the final 8 games was a win over the Gardner Minshew-led Colts, who was a backup quarterback.
Don't do that. Man, yo, you see, this ass, you know what I'm saying? Do not act like Gardner Minshew and these Colts was not frying teams and was not competing. This was a good-ass team. Yeah, it sounds good. Oh, y'all beat Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew was literally a Pro Bowl quarterback last year. That defense that the Colts got last year was tough. Putting dots.
By the way, and after that, it was probably the Cardinals who had Kyler Murray by this time, but ultimately a team.
Yo, just listen, bro. Just tell me that you didn't watch football, y'all. Just tell me you didn't watch. Y'all acting like the win over the Colts wasn't a good win. Just tell me you didn't watch football. I did, not gonna lie. You know, I respect your honesty. Come on, bro.
That finished with a top 4.
Mac Jones made the Pro Bowl, and you thought he was going to succeed over Brady. I'm sorry, you thought he was going to succeed after Brady. So I shouldn't listen to you. I can't believe you brought him up. My coach ruined him. So why did you just bring him up to be negative?
Overall draft pick. Their other 3 wins were over the Broncos at home and a sweep of the Titans. Lost within the Texans' hype train is...
And also, a win over the Browns. The hottest team in the NFL at the time. Literally the hottest team in the NFL at the time, bro. They was hoping. Saying Joe Flacco with dots. Yo, y'all really be changing history, bro. It's disgusting. So Joe Flacco wasn't balling before the playoffs. Y'all niggas is nasty, bro. Y'all nasty, y'all. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. No. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Yo, y'all niggas didn't watch the games, bro. I'm gonna change history, nigga. Oh, my. The hottest is crazy. Bro. Nigga won comeback player of the year. Yo, they lying, bro. They sick, bro. They really sick. Somebody just donated. I don't even go through.
The Week 8 game against
He sucked.
Carolina, in which the Panthers actually beat the Texans. And
this is our worst loss of the season. The Texans have 2 bad losses. It's this team, and I can't remember the other team. The problem that we had last year is we would play to the level of our fucking competition. This game, Bryce Young's first win. This was ass. We played like, the Jets, thank you. Played like shit this fucking game. We literally didn't run the ball the same way we've been doing. We wouldn't run into some of the same. We wouldn't play in defense the same. It was garbage.
And the 30-6 beatdown the Texans suffered at the hands of the Jets. Obviously, those 2 games proved to be outliers, and especially the Jets game, but my point is, this team is far from perfect. Now, I do want to add that I don't think there is a 24-point difference between the Ravens and Texans today, and I really, really liked the improvements the Texans made to their roster this offseason.
Talk about it.
Bringing in Danielle Hunter in free agency was a tremendous move, and especially for the contract they got him for. We often talk about draft steals, but I thought Danielle Hunter at $49 million over 2 years was a win-win for both sides. 48 of the $49 million is guaranteed for Danielle, and I know the guarantees are high.
16.5 sacks last year, mid.
For him.
23 tackles for loss, mid.
But it doesn't matter because of how short this deal is. The Texans won't run into financial problems because of the Danielle Hunter contract. They're not going to say to Nico Collins, hey man, we like what you've done, but we can't afford to pay you because of the Danielle contract. All of the players they drafted are young, and they're at least a year away from signing a big contract extension. Although Nico, in theory, could be signed to an extension soon because he is entering a contract year, but...
Happened today, signed Nico to another 3-year deal. I like it. Some people are saying that Nico is only a 1-year product, and it remains to be seen if that's true or not. Because he's been in the league, 3 years? 4 years? Had 1 good season. To that, I will argue, bro, he had Davis Mills throwing in the ball. Davis Mills fucking sucks. Then before that, who he had? Was that Brian Hoyer them? Garbage.
Even if he does sign a long-term deal, they can either backload the contract or have the big money from the contract really kick in after Danielle's contract expires, if worse comes to worse. Pairing Hunter with Will Anderson was a great move by GM Nick Caserio, and I also like the moves to bring in Danico Autry and Azeez Al-Shaair, both who came over from the Titans. My only concern with Autry, of course, is age.
No excuse. D-Hop balled out with worse quarterbacks. Nigga, he's not Hopkins. There's not a lot of Hopkins running around. You're naming an outlier. You're naming a fucking superstar receiver. No one's saying Nico Collins is that. So what are you saying to me?
As he will be 34 at the start of the 2024 season, and he's not going to play forever. Is he a temporary upgrade? Yes, but even within the Autry signing, I think there should be reasonable concern that his level of play will dip off at some point, even within the 2-year deal. I did like the Azeez Al-Shaair signing, as he had over 160 tackles for the Titans last year, and he can again play cleanup behind a disruptive defensive line in 2024. The Texans' pass rush will be solid if everyone stays healthy, but the one big concern I have with this roster that I have with this team moving forward is secondary. More specifically, their corners outside of Derek Stingley Jr.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like our defensive tackles. We need more room there.
Jr. The corners outside of Derek Stingley are guys like Jeff Okudah, Miles Bryant, Kamari Lassiter, and CJ Henderson. And when you're in a conference like the AFC with as many quarterbacks as there are, I'm not going to name them. You can start to picture those quarterbacks in terms of who you think is a good quarterback in that conference. There's a lot of concern there with those corners, even for as good as the Texans pass rush is. Now, if we play this scenario out with Jeff Okudah, maybe he has a good year, but do we think he's going to be a Pro Bowl or All-Pro player in his 5th season despite never showing signs of being that player? I mean, if you do, you're entitled to that opinion, but I personally don't think he will be. Now, admittedly, I wasn't the biggest Kamari Lassiter fan coming out of Georgia, and we can't show his tape because the SEC and the All-22, it's kind of not my decision, but anyway, we're talking about a nickel corner that was...
Just look up what the Bills did to Miles Bryant. I don't have time for negativity in my life. All right? I don't have time. That nigga commentating look AI generated.
Sub-30th percentile.
Listen, man. I'm not listening to this guy tell me that I need to be little or less hype about my team. Vikings fan. Is he a Vikings fan? I do see Jefferson over here twice. But I see JJ. And I also see Tyreek. I forgot bro name right here. That nigga's a fucking beast. I don't know what his team is just yet. We got a good mix.
In weight, arm length, and wingspan. And when you have all three of those deficiencies coming out of Georgia and you're going to the NFL level in a division that has solid quarterback play and especially really good offensive minds, I think this goes back to the best case scenario projecting and thinking that Kamari is going to be this player that, quite frankly, I don't think he will be at the NFL level, especially as a rookie. And this goes into the 2024 Texans projection, where people automatically assume that, they're going to have Stingley, they're going to have Lassiter, and that he's just going to slide right in and he's going to play at an above average level.
Go watch the tape on Lassiter. Yeah, so people keep talking about his numbers at the combine and how the combine number's not good. He ran a 4.5, all of this shit. But when you watch the tape, the nigga balled.
VI23 just resubscribed.
One interception in college. That's fine. I understand that. The interception is a concern. But, when you watch the tape, he wasn't getting fried. He's on George. He's not getting cooked. 4.5 is good for a corner. Honestly, you don't want your corner to run that. You will let your corner to be faster.
Smooth
but
Capeloff
it's not the end of the world, bro.
Subscribed for 11 months. Love your music on Apple Music and love your streams.
I appreciate you, gang. Thank you.
And that he's going to lock guys down in the slot week in and week out. And I think there's going to be one very big learning curve for Kamari, especially in the NFL. Obviously, there's a lot of comparisons to Brian Branch, who just had a phenomenal rookie year, but Branch was a lot better of a prospect coming out of Alabama last year than Kamari was this year at Georgia. So, needless to say, whether it's Okudah, whether it's Miles Bryant, who signed a one-year deal for less than $2
Love your music on Apple. Love your music in streams, huh? The nines. You're not going to time this nigga out for liking my music.
$1 million, so that kind of shows the player that you're getting in Miles Bryant, or another former first-round pick in C.J. Henderson.
Trash.
I have a lot of concerns with the Texans outside of Derek Stingley at the cornerback position. What also comes with a division title is playing a number 1 schedule the following year. For anyone who may not know, the way the schedule for the following year works is based largely off of the previous year. The 2023 Texans won their division, so they will be playing the other division winners.
So, this year we will be going against Baltimore on Christmas. We're going against Buffalo, Detroit, Miami, Kansas City, the Jets, and Dallas. I got a win over Baltimore. I have a win over Buffalo. I have us losing to Detroit. I have us losing to Miami. I think we should beat Miami, but I think we'll lose to Miami. I have us winning in Kansas City. I think that's going to be a big statement game. Texans going to show that we're here. We're going to win. We're beating the Jets, and I have us beating the Cowboys the day before Thanksgiving. Cap, y'all ain't beating Kansas City. You're not winning Kansas City. I'm not scared of Kansas City. Yo, Kansas City wasn't even that damn fire in the regular season last year. Like, what are we saying? What are we doing? They were good though. But Kansas City had a lot of fucking problems. It's not like Kansas City is just like this super fucking unbeatable fucking team. Like, way better. They was cool. Yeah, they was solid. I'm not gonna act like they was trash. I'm not saying that they was trash, but like niggas saying that for me to say that they beat them, like I'm just fucking delusional, and I'm not. I'm not. But we'll keep it going.
Winners from the AFC from 2023.
It's what?
They
won the bowl. I never said that they didn't, brother. Never said that they didn't.
Do luck out in the fact they play both Buffalo and Baltimore at home and have 9 home games versus 8 road games, but they do have a very few tough games this year, like going to Kansas City.
So, what do y'all think? I want y'all to call it now. Kansas City versus Texans at Kansas City in the road. I think that's one thing that might hurt us. I think that's a winter game. I think that's going to be, it might be possibly a snow game. Blowout, close game. What are y'all thinking? KC easily. KC with the win. 34-0, 41-10, 34-24, close game. 62-2. I know you trolling. We're not going to listen to you again, Bobby. 30-20. Why you keep putting it's, nigga? Close, but I got us, though. 24-0. Okay. I don't think y'all stopping Xavier Worthy with those turtle cornerbacks. Listen, Worthy got to show me that he can ball in the league. I watched him in Texas. He's nice. Just because you got the fastest 40 don't mean you're going to be good.
GHT21 just resubscribed for 21 months. Big 21 months is totally legit. I'll be buying Seahawks tickets for my pops for Father's Day cause he's a Dolphins fan and they are playing on September. Stay blessed, my fat niggas.
What? Thank you so much. What the fuck is this grippy shit? Get this shit out of my chat. What are y'all putting in here? Yo, Seahawks tickets gonna be hard for your dad though. That's super tough, bro. That's super tough, bro. On J. Cole. Oh, J. Cole. All right, bro. Something wrong with y'all niggas. What I'm about to say though? Yeah, bro. Just cause the nigga run that goddamn fastest 40 that don't mean shit to me. They don't mean nothing to me. And they got Hollywood Brown. They don't mean nothing to me. I gotta see how them niggas play. What the hell is this? The way J. Cole cooked this new verse.
Now she in my phone with a nickname. It's Grippy.
Dear Lord, what did I just watch? God save me, what did I just watch? If I could take my eyeballs out and throw them bitches away and get some new ones, I would right now. That shit was ass. But the saving a shorty number under as Grippy is insane, J. Cole. Sit your married ass down. Hey, this nigga got a nasty bag. Hey, that nigga got a nasty bag. Man, that shit was Grippy. What the fuck?
Going to Green Bay and going to MetLife to play the Jets, to name a few. It's one thing to beat the Kenny Pickett-led Steelers or the Derek Carr-led Saints or the Titans twice, but it's another to be playing the Chiefs, Lions, Ravens, Bills, Packers, Jets, and depending which team shows up, the Cowboys and Dolphins outside of division play. It's also another thing to be the feel-good story during everyone's rookie year and to win a playoff game and to be the darlings of the NFL for a year, only for expectations to increase extremely the following year when it's time to prove who you are and who the media thinks you are.
I think CJ Stroud is good enough to escape the sophomore slump, but I know that that's the thing. He gonna have a lot of eyes on him, as he did last year, but With all this talent, all national TV, national media games, it's going to be a lot.
And again, to be clear, I don't think this is a CJ Stroud is going to regress thing as much as it is to take a step back and look where this
CJ
team
will be
actually
fine. I think so
is.
too. He's a pretty smart
There's
quarterback.
another part of the Texans' 2024 outlook that concerns me, and it's Stefon Diggs. It's one thing to leave one team by forcing your way out and wanting the ball more and getting a fresh start elsewhere, but I think it's another thing to do it twice. Diggs' last 100-yard game came in Week 6 of the 23 season as he started the 23 season off with 5 100-yard games in the first 6. He had just 3 touchdowns in the final 11 games of the 23 season, along with 58 receptions.
Super nervous about this nigga. I'm going to go on record and say I didn't want him on my team at all. Because I like that the Texans don't have a selfish team. They don't have niggas that demand the motherfucking ball. If Nico Collins don't get the ball, Nico Collins started this season off hot. Fantasy owners in the damn football started to pick this motherfucker up. But guess what happened? For 2 weeks, possibly 3, he calmed the fuck down because Tank Dell got hot. You didn't hear Nico complaining. You didn't hear Nico tripping on none of that. Shout out to the 900 niggas in the chat, man. That's just who the Texans are. Schultz did the same thing. You got him coming in. He's a typical receiver diva. But I do think that he's going to cook with Stroud, though. I think Diggs will buy in. I hope that he does.
And was frustrated with how his time ended in Buffalo. We saw the outbursts on the sidelines at times, whether it was in the playoff game against Cincinnati or even dating back to his Minnesota days. What if there's a game in Week 16 or in the playoffs when the Texans are looking for a big win and Stefon isn't getting the ball? He's also in a contract year, which was a questionable decision based on the contract, but I have a lot of concerns with Diggs and am hoping for the best with how he plays in Houston. Also, to address this, because I'm sure it will be brought up in the comments. Yes, I am a Vikings fan. No, I do not care how Diggs...
Oh, you a Vikings fan, nigga? Y'all niggas stink. Y'all not going to be no good this year. Good luck with JJ.
Tenure...
Worry about your team.
Ended in Minnesota. I'm bringing up a point that legitimately concerns me with the future
Was that Sam Bradford I just seen it?
The Texans and something that could derail their path to success, and we've seen it multiple times before. And speaking of limited time in Houston, I would be pretty surprised if offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick stays beyond the 24 season with the Texans.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Texans, we gotta win this year. This nigga's gone, unless he puts up a stinker. He was damn near gone last year. Damn near. The Texans have one of the best offensive coordinator minds in the league right now, based off last year. Bobby Slowick know how to scheme up a game, bro. There's only one game. No, there was 2 games. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Those 2 games, he was fucking garbage as shit. You know what? 3 games. That last playoff game, Bobby, I don't know what was going on. Maybe the run game wasn't working. I'll give you a pass. But, yeah, this nigga, he ain't going to be here long at all.
I know the easy thing to do is point to Ben Johnson and look how he stayed with the Lions past the point we thought he would leave to become a head coach, but Ben is the outlier and not the standard. With another season remotely close to the season the Texans just had, which from an offensive perspective is very possible, Bobby will probably land any job he wants. Admittedly, I am a lot higher than most on the Colts, and they are my sleeper team that can make a lot of noise entering the 24 season. They will be a thorn not just in the Texans' sides, but in a lot of other team sides with a healthy Anthony Richardson.
I'm calling it the Colts going to be a fucking problem, especially if Anthony Richardson comes out and shows the potential that he did last year. Bro, he made some stupid fucking throws last year. I mean, just... that shit was nuts. He was way ahead of schedule from what I thought that he was going to be. I thought he was going to be like a year project quarterback or something like that. Nah, that motherfucker good, bro. He's good. But I don't have him over the Texans, though. I'm sorry. I think that they finished second in the division. I think that the Jaguars finished third in the division. Trevor Lawrence, I'm a fan of you in college. In the NFL, you ain't showing me nothing. I think that people are trying to overrate the shit out of you. That's just me. Now, I do know your GM honestly ain't been doing the best at giving you the help, but you got some help. You got to calm down. Excuse me? Hey, I'm just telling you what I'm just calling it like I see it. Calling it like I see it, bro. Now you know how I feel. Hey, G-Dash, who your team, gang?
Richardson. I
I
also
don't respect anyone, Colin.
think Trevor Lawrence will have the best year of his career as he is in a contract
new
year,
here,
and if he balls out, he could have a $250 million plus contract
Broncos suck.
within the next year. Do I like where the Texans are? Yes, absolutely.
Oh, gee, my bad, gang. I see where you're coming from.
And I never would have thought they would have had the season they had last year. Nobody did. But I also think it's fair to tamper expectations and to not expect them to be the next great team. I can easily see them winning anywhere from 9 to 12 games in 2024, but beyond that, picking them to win the AFC, to me at least, is a tall ask in this loaded
I don't
of a
have us
conference.
winning the AFC, bro.
I
Calm
hope
down.
you enjoyed, and if you did, please like and subscribe, as only about 39% of people watching are.
I don't have the Texans winning the AFC. That's fucking ridiculous. Can we, if niggas doing that, relax. But I do think we're going to be a top 3-4 team in the AFC. That's what I do think. We'll be a top 3-4 team. I think that we got the talent. My biggest issues with the team is interior offensive line. Jesus. What's my dog name? Trade him now. I don't want him to get in the game. He was a bust, but you're going to deal with him being a bust. Trade that nigga. I bet not see him in the game. Jay Woods, what's my nigga name? Kenyon Green. I don't want to see Kenyon Green at left guard, period. If that nigga's in the game, I'm canceling my season tickets. I'm canceling them. All right? I would love to see John Mechie take a step up this year. I don't know how the fuck he gonna take a step up, though. It's so many receivers. John Mechie really disappointed me last year, though. He really did. I see niggas saying send him to the Panthers. I hope we do, actually. I want to see I want to see John Cook, bro. He's buried under these damn people. And I just seen John Mechie drop a pass and goddamn in practice. It was a wide open pass. John, you pissing me off, John. Pissing me off, John. All right, get it together, bro.